How about them tops, son?
All day, SEC boys. SEC, they supposed to be SEC. Crazy all day, baby.
You're listening to the Red Out Podcast.
I am Devin, and we're starting in here tonight. Always remember to like, share, and subscribe for new content. And let's see who we can get on the line with us. Well, as always, guys, follow the Towel Rack, follow Red Out, and keep us in your thoughts and share and do all that good stuff. Let me see. I'm trying to get all the other guys in here. See who we can get in here real quick, and we'll start our winners and losers as soon as I get the guys in. Okay. Still says everybody's offline. Okay. I know I started a little early. Let's see. Okay. So far, winners and losers for me. Jared's on.
What's with that music, Rude? Is that you?
I thought I'd have a little something going on while I was waiting for everybody to get on. Jake's here. There we go.
I was so confused. I thought I left my music on in that background. It's like, God, what is this?
I know, right? I was like, it's called, they've got all these random names. One of them is Punk Rock, which is this one.
That's cringy.
Rise of the King is this one, which reminds me of like an NFL countdown show.
A little bit.
And then this one is Soothing Country.
That doesn't sound like country.
I don't think so either, but I could definitely see that as like a Garth Brooks song or something. Okay, Jake is in the studio, but I don't see him on. So I don't know what's going on here.
Bro.
I got it.
Say something.
Good, you got it. Okay. And
New phone.
Alex is coming in here in just a sec.
Jake, I've missed you, Negative Nancy. I need someone else around here that has negative feelings.
Dude, it has been a rather negative time. I caught the plague. I've got another cold. It's just been fun.
Yeah.
He's always been very sickly, though, so...
But no, here's the deal. Like, as a kid, I was super sickly. But, like, once I got to college, I was almost never sick. And then, like, the last 2 weeks, I don't know what it is. My kid's bringing home something from daycare, and I'm just like...
Yeah,
Children
it's been terrible.
Children are truly petri dishes.
Dude, kid germs, man. I'm telling you, kid germs.
Let's see here. I was trying... Man, my Google has completely screwed me up. Let's see here. Okay. So, winners and losers. I've got to hit one real quick. The 49ers.
Yeah.
Boo.
I needed them to lose at least one game so the 72 Dolphins can still be the only undefeated team in NFL history. So we're good now.
Wah,
We're good.
wah.
Yeah.
What sucks is more is it's...
Do what?
I said what sucks more is it's the freaking Seahawks, man.
It's always the
I know.
Seahawks. They show up for that game.
Which is the and in overtime too, so...
Yeah,
and
I'm just
like
glad he didn't go for the
kick?
tie. It was a wild kick, but I'm just glad that Shanahan didn't go for the tie. Everybody's like, why didn't you go for the tie? I was like, because this isn't soccer, okay? We don't go for ties, we win.
If nobody wins, both of them lose. In my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It should be no ties.
All right. Having some issues with Alex getting on. Let's see.
Dude, I got winners and losers.
go for
Okay. I
Winner.
If I have one of yours, I'm going to let Jared do it because he's been on this high horse for 24 hours. But go ahead.
Winner. I'm probably gonna steal Jared's. I feel bad.
Probably.
Jared, why don't you
Just
go,
do
buddy?
it.
Yeah,
Well,
Jared, you go ahead. 'Cause we know what yours is.
Yeah, Jared, you
I
go.
just
I know what
Okay, so obvious winner. First of all, America, but second of all,
Yes.
specifically the University of Evansville. Shout out to the Purple Aces taking down number 1 ranked Kentucky in their own building. 67 to 64.
64, yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of things to unpack with all of this. So just very briefly, while you're getting Alex set up. So this is the first time that an unranked non-conference team has beat a number one team in their own building since Long Beach State, coached by Seth Greenberg at the time, beat Roy Williams and Kansas in 1993. And so
Wow.
that's pretty wild. It hasn't happened in that long of a time. But they did say that Kansas went to the Final Four that year, so Kentucky season isn't over, but I hope it is. Just because.
That's nice, but yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was incredible that the Purple Aces were able to pull it off. They have a nice little campus. It's really cool. But yeah, first of all, the fact that Kentucky basketball and Alabama football lost within like a week of each other, like even shorter than that, is beautiful for the United States. And the Cowboys lost as well. So this has just been a
Dude,
really
Lexington
good week.
must be on fire right now. Every team
Yeah,
they care
and
about.
they got beat by Tennessee
UK
as
basketball, Alabama football, both lost.
Yeah. Even Kentucky football, they lost to the Vols, which is pretty sad.
Which, by the
Yeah,
way,
it's so funny they can't beat them. 'Cause
by
they're
the
so
way,
bad.
I hate Tennessee. So
I hate
Same.
Tennessee.
I do too. I live right
Yeah.
on the Tennessee state line, and it sucks.
well, I know.
We're
I mean,
rivals.
growing up in Allen County was the same way, and then and then going to Rocky Top made it even worse. Ugh.
Ooh, I have a fun fact for you guys.
Fun fact. Okay.
About Rocky Top?
Yeah, well, yes, actually, that my dad, he was a farmer for a long time, but when he was looking to get out of being a farmer, he sold a tractor to somebody, but the tractor that he sold was to one of the people that helped write Rocky Top, one of the Osborne brothers, so I thought that was really cool.
That is kind of crazy. All right.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why out of all the places he could have got something, he went to Franklin, Kentucky, but, I mean, it is what it is. It's still a pretty cool story. He's like, I sold a tractor to the guy that wrote Rocky Top, so, I mean, yeah.
I don't know what.
Did he like pay you in like original signed lyric versions of Rocky Top? Is that like when he wrote it on a napkin? Some random bar in White House?
Oh gosh, no, probably not.
Dude, I do. I have a winner though. I have more winners. The entire state of Arkansas.
Yes.
Because we got your coach out of there for you.
Yeah,
You're welcome, Arkansas. You're welcome.
Yeah, they. They were. That was the greatest thing ever. And that's what I told somebody. Was like, well, when are they going to fire their coach? And I was like, probably on a Sunday.
Tomorrow. Yeah, Sunday.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
that's
just kind of
exactly
like
right.
National Coaching Day. I mean, Coach Firing Day is like Sunday. They usually do that. Just be like, we'll be nice. Let him have the post game interviews. Let him get a decent night's sleep of stress, wondering if they still have a job in the morning, and then we'll call them in early and be like, got some bad news.
Dude,
you
I
know.
loved Chad Morris trying to sell like he was. I guess it's kind of sad. I am mean. I don't care. He's like essentially begging for his job during the press conference after the game. He's like, "No, I am still the right one for this rebuild. We need more time." It's like, no, you don't, dude.
He sounds
suck.
like
No
Willie
way.
Taggart.
I need
Yeah.
more time.
It's almost
I
like
need
a
more
Mike
time.
Stanford or something.
Yeah, just
I
not
don't
as
know how much
inexpensive
time
as a
he could
mistake.
have needed. Ooh, that would be a fun thing to think about. What would our record be if Sanford was still our head coach?
Oh God, like you know what's sad is
That's an
worse.
article I'm wanting to write, just so you know.
That's a good off season. Once football season's over and we kind of like everything, the dust kind of settles. And then basketball calms down, like late April. That's a good article to look back on and write. Just a
I
big
agree.
what if.
What if I told you?
What if I told you
Classic.
that Western didn't make a good decision?
No, they made a good decision. Absolutely.
Can you hear me
There you
now?
go, buddy.
Yeah,
Good.
there you go.
Today is the worst day for technology for Alex right now. Why?
I mean, you
No,
sound
like-
good, man.
Thank you. Like, no lie. I tried paying my car bill, which I finally did. I went yesterday to do it because normally it just goes out of my debit card. But apparently now they switched it over to where you would have to use your checking account and your routing number from your bank in order to process it. So it has not been a fun 12 hours for me technology-wise.
No, that was my fault, Alex. I put the wrong email address in. When I send out the invites every week for the for our guests, which technically everybody is here, so. But anyway,
You're good. You're good, Devin.
Happens to
You're
the best
good.
of us.
Okay, so we've done some winners and losers, Alex. We've got Kentucky. We've got the 49ers. Do you have any to add to the winners and losers list?
Yes. First, I would like to start off my winners by saying that everybody's NFL teams have actually got a victory this week.
Yeah.
Somehow, except for
Yes.
Jake's 49ers.
Yeah.
Except, but I mean, everybody that wasn't undefeated, let's just
Yeah.
go
The Dolphins
right there.
have won 2 games more than I thought they would this season.
Thank y'all for beating the Colts, by the way.
Honestly, I don't even know how that happened. It was ridiculous.
It
Welcome
could
Poor
be.
Cat and Jack.
Yes.
It was
I mean,
loss.
Titans beat the Chiefs. I mean, Derrick Henry went hard. It was just, man.
That man is a terrifying specimen.
Yes.
I hope we re-sign him. I
like a
really do.
6'3"
Out of all the
running back.
guys that we need to re-sign back in the next few months, he's definitely number one on my list.
You mean Marcus Mariota's not number 1?
I was about to say something snide like that.
I really hope Marcus just goes elsewhere and just balls out. Like, I can see him being with the Patriots, believe it or not. Like, it would just be... It's like a theory that me and a bunch of my friends in this Titans group chat have. It's like Marcus is somehow going to be back up to Tom Brady. Brady's going to play at least one more year, teach Marcus everything he knows, and just goes straight from there. Like, he's going to pass the torch.
That would
Yeah.
be kind of insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
everything was put on Mariota to do his thing. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
But at the same time, it's like, who knew that Ryan Tannehill would actually flourish
I
with
did.
this offense?
Because the Miami fans
really
like
good.
me.
Yeah, the one Dolphin.
Like, he just had no protection whatsoever in Miami. And if you look at the numbers that he put up, like, I think he had, like, the most amount of, like, yardage, like, in his first 4 seasons. Like, he was up there with Peyton Manning and, I think, Dan Marino.
It was just y'all
ridiculous.
couldn't keep a very steady offensive line. I mean, y'all had Landry, y'all had Kevin Stills. It was just Kenny Stills.
Yeah.
It was just, man.
My
It
thing
was-
is, the Dolphins are just. This is a really poor joke, but I can't not say this.
Just do
The
it.
Dolphins, the defenses going against the Dolphins' offense were like Japanese whalers going against the Dolphins. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's a
I hope you're
perfect
proud of
noise
that.
for that.
You're going to get a phone call from PETA in the morning, Devin.
I probably will. I'll probably get some.
I'll
dirty
bring it
news.
on.
It's all good. It's
And
all
my losers for this week would have to be the Houston Astros. They're in hot water from a controversy.
Oh,
There was
yeah,
a
I
news
heard about
article.
this.
Yes, there was a news article that just recently came out that they were accused and now being investigated for stealing. I forgot which team it was, but this was like back in 2017.
They won.
Yes,
2001. Okay, whenever.
like 2000.
No, 2017 when they
He
won.
said won the World Series.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I don't do
No, you're-
baseball, so I was like, whatever.
He's like, whatever. It's fine.
2000.
No, they basically recorded the other team's signs from their like outfield.
Yeah, from center field.
They pulled a
Yeah.
Belichick.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
they absolutely did.
And this is
Yeah,
hilarious.
if it wasn't going on
considering-
if it wasn't going on during football season, this would be even bigger deal. So
Yes.
And it was hilarious considering the fact that pretty much the Cardinals, which I say were just pretty much guilty anyway, of hacking in the Astros database around the same year that they did this. So it's just like, do not throw stones in a glass house. Like, please.
Yes, completely agree. Ross, you're joining us a little late, but do you have any winners and losers, buddy?
did we already go through Evansville?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we've got Evansville, and Alex got Houston, and we made fun of all the NFL teams. So you're up, buddy.
Okay. I would say winners, Arkansas. I mean, we'll get into this, but all their fans said, "Hey, put us out of your misery," and we did. So,
Yeah.
And you
loser
were there,
Chad,
yeah.
Chad Morris getting fired after losing to Western. You know, he's a big loser. I mean, I think he went 0-2 or 2-4 against G5 teams in his 2 seasons in Arkansas. So, I mean, like I said, you can you don't have to win big at most places when you start off, but you can't lose the games like that. And it was great to put a nail in their coffin. So,
And that's my thing too with the with Arkansas. You're in such a highly competitive conference in the West, in the SEC West more specifically, that you've got to win those gimme games like Western. And I mean, no offense to us, but Arkansas and Western, that's a team that you last week ESPN had us at a 38% chance of beating them. And I mean, obviously we came out and topped them, but
yeah, it's not like this was like the 2015 or 16 Western team where we were like smoking hot. This is a very flawed, okay team. And to run them off the field was just funny.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. Welcome, Mr. Hilltopper, into the live show for once, buddy. You've been asking for this for a while, so we're glad we can finally come live to you all. So, just kind of jumping in, skipping over football for just a moment, we're going to talk about some other sports here. Volleyball is killing it.
Smoking.
Yes, they are. So, let me see here real quick. Let me go in chronological order. So on the 8th of November, they played North Texas and beat them 3-1. And then they played Rice in a super close one and beat
number 17 Rice on the road.
Yeah, I got that circled and I just skipped over it. Number 17 Rice, 3 sets.
Can't do that.
I know. I was coming back to it. And that was on the 10th. So that's just crazy. The Lady Tops are amazing. They're doing great stuff.
I got some strong feelings about that, though.
What's your strong feelings?
That they deserve to be ranked higher than 19th. It's crap.
Which is very true.
Yes.
Seriously. Like, there's
they should be higher than that.
That bothers the crap out of me. They've got one loss on the season. They're pounding everyone to death. They go and beat number 17 on the road. And, I know they went up in ranking. I know that from, 22 or 23. It was 22, wasn't it?
Yeah.
22 to 19. But, no, you at least get to bunny hop number 17. Okay, I'm sorry. You get to go to. You beat 17. You get to at least go there. They need to be ranked higher. You're stuck together, Volleyball Ranking Association.
I completely agree. You got to go to at least 17, if not a little higher.
Let's just hope this clinches an at-large bid. That's all.
Yeah.
I think that's what the win hopefully does. If they take care of business this week, you win the regular season title. If you lose to Rice in the final, hopefully beating them on the road clinches you a spot where you have some margin for error. So
here's my thing. Western's volleyball team plays La Tech, and then they play UAB. La Tech's on the 14th, and UAB's on the 16th. You can check WKU Sports for the times on that. So since we knocked Rice, are they out of the top 25 or so in the college volleyball polls? I don't know. Do you all know?
I haven't checked the full list.
I didn't pay attention to anyone lower than us, to be honest with you.
Rice is irrelevant now. We beat them, so yeah.
Correct.
I was going to compare this to the Marshall.
we're 22nd in the RPI, and Rice is still 15th. So we gave them their second loss of the season. And then let's look at these rankings. Let's be factually correct. 19, Rice dropped to 21. So
okay, so first off, full disclosure, facts are optional in this show. So
just
so you all
say
know.
stuff.
100% of fan facts are made up on the spot.
Yes,
that's exactly right.
Yes, except for Ross, who probably really Googled that because I was not going to.
I Googled it, yeah. I'm quick.
Yes.
Maybe in a second.
Yep. So, and then looks like cross country is going to go to the Southeast Regional on the 15th, which is Friday. And women's basketball is playing Belmont, which is going on, right now, right?
Yeah, as we speak.
Yeah, it's going on right now as we speak. The Towrack, the Twitter account, is live tweeting the game.
Matt.
I was going to say, let me see if I can get Matt on here to give us a live update.
It's a call, Matt. Matt, what are you doing?
Yes.
What's going on?
It's a special
live
podcast. We're going live in two different ways.
That's right.
40 to 26 Lady Toppers right now.
Nice. All right.
Love beating the Bruins.
Green.
Yes. Let's hope our men's can do the same.
Yes.
Belmont's 2-0. It looks like they're, I think, like Matt said, they're a preseason OVC favorite. So
Good.
Looks like men's basketball has Eastern Kentucky on the 15th, and that's at 6 p.m. I'm guessing that's not televised, is it?
It's on ESPN Plus.
They
Oh,
don't
it's on
have
Plus.
television in Richmond, so no.
No.
I'll be at the game.
Yeah, they don't know what TVs are. It's all telegraphed past Richmond. So.
Just drops.
It's like once
Just
you leave
drops off.
Lexington, it's just deliverance at this point.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah,
honestly, I don't care how many years it's been since we left the OVC. Eastern will always be one of our biggest rivals, and should be. Just the whole directional matchup, Western versus Eastern. I mean, yeah, and the history.
Overall,
I'm gonna disagree on that hot take.
Why?
Overall, Jared, I do agree as an overall statement, but modern times, no, I can't agree with that. I'm sorry, buddy.
I mean, obviously, we're way out of their league now. We're a lot better,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
Well,
I mean,
yeah, exactly. Have you ever been to Richmond?
Yes.
No,
No, I think I've been
God,
once, but I don't remember.
For such a rival, Jared. I mean, come on, man. You've been to Murfreesboro, haven't you? Trey
no,
Biddies.
I don't even. I've gone through Murfreesboro. I haven't gone to their campus. I try to stay away.
First off, Eastern
Smart.
has a knockoff PFT. Just saying.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
Have you all
That
been
is kinda gross.
to Richmond to their campus?
I haven't.
I haven't been on campus.
I don't remember what the name of the building is, but there is a tower, not on the south side of their campus, but there's a tower on their campus, and it just reminded me of PFT. Let's see, I can't remember what year it was, but the last time football played Eastern,
2006 or 7, probably.
I would say 7, but anyway, it may have been 8 actually. It may have been 2008, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I was warned going into the game when we went to Richmond that there was a chance that they would pour beer on us when we came out of the stadium, because at that point they only had one side. So we were told to wear rain jackets and everything, and I was like, "Good God!" So that's where the rivalry for me is. I loathe
Straight class.
Yeah, and I silently judge people who go to Eastern, just so you know.
Good.
Here's my opinion on
Yes.
Eastern. I mean,
I only got
They're
one
basically-
favorite person I went to Eastern though.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ross.
basically, we've separated ourselves from them enough, and we don't play them regularly enough where, I consider places like Murray and stuff like that to be much bigger rivals when it comes to just our old OVC brethren, because they're always a worthy adversary. Like, you look at the series in both football and basketball, we dominate both of them. It's kind of the one-sided rivalry type thing. So
And we need to play Murray State again. That needs to come back.
Correct.
That's always
Yes,
the game.
please, because I used to go every single year.
and Murray's a good program, so yeah, that'd be a fun one.
Yeah, they took
Stanley's made
Tennessee
that
to
happen.
the bar.
So Brett actually brings up something really good. Did you all see the point guard that signed with us today? I'm sure
Yeah.
Calrac had that.
Davion McKnight, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, David McKnight out of
Shelbyville.
Mercer.
I was gonna say he's in state, so I'm not sure.
Shelbyville,
Yeah, he's an
Martha Lane
in-state guy.
Martha Lane Collins High School.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, he's. I don't know if he'll get Mr. Kentucky or not. What do you all think?
I haven't seen him.
I mean, it's
Maybe.
going to be between him and another commit that was going to come here, but recently just committed with Louisville, JJ Trainer out of Bardstown.
So here's my opinion on all that. Louisville commits are notorious for getting left over by the rest of the state for that. So McKnight has a chance, but you also have to worry about this Auburn commit or Auburn signee at Oldham County, where I'm actually from, where he could probably just be like the neutral party too. So McKnight will be probably a top 3 or 5 player. We'll see if he gets it or not. That'd be cool to just keep that legacy, because we've got Hollingsworth won Mr. Basketball. Did Justice
Carson
win?
Williams did, didn't he?
Carson Williams and Cam Justice. So we have 3 already
Yes.
on the team. So we would keep 3 going into the next season as well. So that'd be pretty cool.
That would be
That
really
would be.
awesome.
It would be.
So sliding over to Lady Top basketball, obviously we've got the Lady Tops playing tonight. Currently, we'll get an update on their score here in just a second. But looks like they beat Mercer, and when was that? Oh, Oh, sorry, that was on the 8th. So
Friday.
that was last Friday. No, last Friday. 75-62. Lady Tops are doing pretty good so far this year. We'll have to see how everything turns out. Let me pull up ESPN so I can get a lot of updates. Here we go. Okay, so
I just want Devin to beatbox for like the next 15 minutes.
okay. All right. I got my live here. Just as long as it doesn't come in, start talking. Western's winning 40-26 over Belmont. Western is 1-1 for the year. They fell to Louisville, wasn't that right?
Yeah.
Number 9 Louisville, so no shame
Yeah,
there.
they're always very good.
I'm not shaming them whatsoever. So yeah.
It's just the tone in your voice, Devin.
He's just sad. He's just always sad when the top team loses.
Yes, when the Hilltoppers lose, I get a little sad. I can't help it. So we're talking football, and in case you all missed, it's Western beat Arkansas. And we got Chad Morris fired. So woo-hoo.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Arkansas fans. So any chance that Willie Taggart goes to Arkansas?
I hope not.
Hey, I could see that as a possibility. I'm just saying. But anyway,
He's the least Arkansas guy that could go to Arkansas. Could y'all?
I would lose. I'm sorry. I would lose faith in everything college football outside of Western if that actually happens.
Yeah, just mark it down. Taggart's going to Harbaugh's staff or Saban's staff and just gonna collect that check.
Yeah,
definitely could see that. So Western clobbered Arkansas this past Saturday. Final score was 45-19. I think Jake was looking for them to quote lock it in a little more, but I think that score kind of helped them out.
dude, yeah. Like I was tweeting that. I was like, "Hey guys, lock it in," and then they scored a touchdown, and then the pick six. I was like, "Oh, okay, good job, yeah, like that."
I mean, honestly, I think the Hilltoppers were golden. We'll kind of go around here in just a second. Is your all's opinion? Total yards 478 for Western, 213 passing, 265 rushing, 1 turnover, which was a fumble, and of course Arkansas 340 yards, 87 passing yards. Jesus, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they didn't have a prayer.
And I mean, of course, completion percentage here they were 9 of 26.
So you're telling me Jerry Jones' grandson isn't a good quarterback? No way.
Yeah, yeah.
That was just horrible.
If I hadn't watched Ross's DirecTV account, I would have loved to watch that. But no joke. I think I guessed his password like 6 times. All of a sudden, it's locked, and I was like, oh crap. So Ross can't get into his DirecTV. That's why.
It's working fine on my end. I don't know.
Okay, lucky you. But they did have 253 rushing yards on 28 attempts. So they were moving.
But two of those attempts were long runs by that last chance.
Boyd.
About 140 of those yards were on like 2 runs.
Which time of possession actually in the first half, I want to say Western had it for like 3/4, like 75% of the time compared to
pretty much.
Western was at 36 and Arkansas had 23 minutes. Of course, a lot of that was based off of the final few plays there. Western was golden. They could do no wrong. Ross, what did you think, buddy? You were there.
I mean, it was great. I mean, I think I listened to the press conference as always, and I think Tyson Helton said him and Ellis were like looking at each other, and this was like old times, and it was just really great to see everything finally click and come together because we've been waiting on that all season offensively. They converted on 4th down. They were aggressive with their play calling. Ty Story was a man possessed. It was kind of cool, being in the stadium. There was he had like 50 or 60 people wearing all the same sweatshirt that said it's story time and had a WKU logo in the middle, and they were just cheering hard. And then, all the Arkansas fans were like, we're secretly cheering for Ty Story, and we don't want, if you guys beat us, thank you, and all this other stuff. So that was kind of fun, going out and just seeing everything quick. Really nothing to nitpick besides a couple long runs. So, I mean, Lucky Jackson just keeps being a beast in the season. I think he's going to get over 1,000 yards. Jackor Pearson, just an amazing little slot receiver. Gage Walker was, good steady self. He'll probably get over 1,000 yards. So, really nothing to complain about. I mean, our fourth SEC win in school history. We got to cherish those. And I think that was the first WKU road trip I'd been on since probably we beat UK in 2012 or 13. I went to both those games. That I'd actually seen Western win a road game against a P5 school. So you got to cherish all those victories, and it was cool.
Yeah, and actually, I was going to bring up something real quick. Towards the end of the game, they start putting in the second and third string, etc. They did put Josh Samuel in. So
and he finally
played
fumbled.
Bush too.
Yeah. He played pretty butch. He did pretty good. I don't know if it was an injury issue that kept him out or other issues that kept him from playing, but we'll just have to see as far as everything goes. So let me look. Let me take a look real quick. Jake, what did you think of the game, buddy?
I love when we can just obliterate a team on their home field and get their coach fired. Like, that's just so much fun to me. Again, I love the opponent tears, the sadness. I really enjoy it. Kind of just bathe it in. It's kind of bittersweet because they were all kind of like, well, thank you for beating us. Like, no, be upset. So I was kind of going through all the Twitter just firestorm, and that was fun. Kind of like Ross said, dude. Oh, so good. But, there's not a whole lot there's not really anything to, I mean, again, I'm usually the one that wants to pee on everybody's parade, and there isn't really whatever thing Devin is strangling in the background. Holy crap, what was that? No murder on the show, guys. Come on.
No. This wasn't murder. This was just great, but go ahead.
But no, it was really cool because, you guys, I always talk smack about Lucky, but he's been so good that they covered him so well. Yeah, so he's been doing so good that they covered him so well that it was like, this is going to tell you how long it's been since I've actually played fantasy football actively. There was a year I picked up Golden Tate when both him and Megatron were on the Lions, and Golden Tate routinely scored more points because people were quadruple covering Megatron, and so he was always open. That was Jackor Pearson in this game. And Lucky Jackson still had 79 yards and made some crazy catches, or 73 yards and some amazing catches. The only thing I'll say, is Gage Walker we probably still need a backup running back. Just throwing it out there.
Thank you.
But seriously, other than that, and I will end my happiness on 2 words: Munson tackle.
Yes.
Yes.
That was really funny, actually. There was a lot of retweets from that. I saw. But okay, hold on. There we go. Let's get it going again.
There you go.
That's right. There we go.
Man, I love that so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, Josh Samuel had 3 carries for 14 yards.
We're still fumble.
Yes, and he had a fumble.
Walk
Ross,
off.
since Jake's been gone, you've turned into the negative Nancy. I'm saying.
You mean the people that tell truths?
Yes.
Well, I mean, the thing is, he's been waiting to play all season, and Shanley was driving. They were going to get a late garbage score and even run up and more, and then he decided to fumble.
I mean, yeah, it's
The
whatever.
50 would have been awesome.
Yeah, well,
the thing I loved is we topped our season high for points in the first half.
yeah,
That showed how great of a day it was.
yes.
Yeah.
And we had the most 4th down conversions of any team in a single half this entire season. So that's pretty.
That was
Yeah.
crazy. They went 4 for 4. I was like, is this
Not
gonna set a
5 on
record?
5 in the first half. Or at
Was
least
it?
the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was really crazy. Let me see if I can find in here. Well, anyway, I mean, so of course, Arkansas, they're kind of the bottom feeders this year in the SEC West. They're 0 for 6 conference, 2-8 overall. So it's just ugly for them. Jared, what did you think of the games, bud?
Oh man, it was just beautiful to see Western have that kind of dominance over any Power 5 school. I mean, sure, they are cellar dwellers in the SEC, but I mean, you still want to show up and win by that kind of margin just to kind of make a point. And just it's good for recruiting too, because Coach Elton can be like, yeah, we can hang with the big dogs and blow them out and everything, and still be able to show them that, which is really good for recruiting purposes as well. And being on SEC Network was really good for them. But yeah, it's just an all-around good game on Western's part. It was fun to watch, and of course the memes were great on the Towel Rack Twitter account. That was really, really fun. And I really liked Arkansas Fight, the SB Nation account. They did really good interacting with us as well and giving us some shout-outs, respect to them. But, I mean, we got their coach fired. We won by a lot, and we're bowl eligible now, so heck yeah.
I just wish that we could have had this golden ticket, basically, against Marshall and FAU, especially Marshall, because
and Central Arkansas beating them, we would be at 7 wins right now.
I mean, if we had beaten all of them, we'd be at 10-0 right now. But still,
which that's insane. That the fact that they could be that close to that kind of record, and just a year turnaround, and Helton's first year too. I mean, man, I hope that he gets a decent extension if Helton can keep this up, because he's going to be getting a lot of offers. But I don't want to talk about that.
And I think we're safe. He's got to do it over multiple years before we have to start worrying about it.
You got you got a couple years.
Let me throw this little poll out here, which a lot of people have had a lot of fun commenting on, that I misspelled or I used the wrong tense of there. But anyway, so out of 92 people, I'm going to do the math real quick. We've got 52. So about 56% of people said that Western could go 8-4 this year. While we had. Okay, we had 43% of people who voted who said that Western would go 7-5. Who's eating?
I'm scooping some stuff out of a pot. I'm not.
I know, right?
My bad.
So
you gotta take advantage when you get a second E when you got a 5-month-old, man.
Apparently. So anyway,
I'll try to be quieter. That's my bad.
So anyway, which the funny thing in this is that Ross was the positive person who voted for the 8-4, and then Matt McKay voted for the 7-5, who by all means and purposes is like the most positive person on the towel rack, and he's being the pessimist in this aspect. So, come on, Matt. Do better.
I'm hopping on the bandwagon. That win is going to carry our sails. We're going to win. We get the bye week. We got the last 2 games. Let's just take care of business, and then really, I was looking at the roster for next year. We have a couple gaps to fill in. Obviously, number 1 being Ty Story, number 2 being Lucky Jackson, but we've got a really good roster that can compete for a conference championship next season. So let's do what Stanford couldn't even do in his first year and close strong. I think 7 wins is a minimum, because you got to beat Middle Tennessee. They're reeling. It's at home. Their season's pretty much already over. Let's take care of business, and let's carry that into a fun bowl game, and all be excited.
I'd have to agree on that 7-5. Like, at this point, you really need to beat Middle. I don't know about USM. We can talk about that in a minute, but you got to beat Middle.
Yeah, we've got USM in 2 weeks, because we've got a bye week coming up this week. So it kind of kills our momentum, but we have an extra week to prepare for USM. I want to make sure I get the letters correct.
Not SMU.
SMU, USM.
Southern Methodist.
SUM. Yeah.
Pony Express, baby.
Yeah, whatever they are. So anyway, right now, ESPN has the FPI index favoring USM at 64.2%, with Western at a 35.8%. So they're leaning towards them. Of course, honestly, I'm wondering if a lot of these games aren't padded for them. Excuse me. North Texas isn't as good as it was last year, in my opinion. Southern Miss beat them 45-27. They beat the Miners 31-13. They lost to La Tech 45-30, and they beat Rice 20-6 at UAB 37-2. Which, by the way, crazy score. Obviously,
UAB had a bunch of injuries, but
they were playing they were playing a freshman quarterback, I think.
So total yards, just looking at the stats here, USM averages about 421 yards a game. They're allowing 346. Western's total yards 372, yards allowed 320. The only thing that really is standing out to me thus far is that the yards allowed for USM is only 107, which
Yeah, that's
that is
impressive.
crazy.
Yeah, their defense is stout.
Yes,
They've had 4 sacks, like 4.5 sacks in the last 2 games.
well, their points per game is 30 flat, straight 30, and points allowed is 25.8, which is about what Western's at. We're getting about 24 average a game and allowing about 20.5. So, I mean, I think Western's got a shot.
Oh yeah, for sure got a shot. For sure.
They have to show up on offense, which they've had to do the last 3 games, and I think as we can tell, even in the Marshall and FAU games, we're posting over 400 yards a game.
Yeah,
Let's hope they can keep clicking. Against probably a better team than Arkansas and Southern Miss. So.
and
Probably.
I don't know if you all have noticed this or not, but when the FPI favors the other team by 60%, Western wins.
At least last week, right?
Knock on wood. But they favored Army by 60%. They favored Arkansas by 60%, and now they're favoring Southern Miss by 60%. So just some.
Let's keep the streak going.
Yeah, so it's just some stats, and of course, Western's favored against Middle 67.7% to 32.3%. But Middle is having a atrocious season, so
they've got a really good running quarterback though. So I mean, I can't think of his name on top of my head right now, but he's Asher O'Hara. He's a one-man team pretty much. So if we can stop the run, which against a team like Middle, I don't see us having a problem with that. So. But take care of business at home, probably in front of 10,000 fans, and go to a bowl game. So
Middle beat Marshall 24-13. They lost
that
to
was
FAU.
an anomaly.
Yeah, they lost to FAU 28-13. They lost to North Texas 33-30. They beat FIU 50-17. Which, good gravy, man, they did.
They ran all over them.
And then they lost to Charlotte, which was my favorite thing ever, 34-20. And as Ross was saying, O'Hare is just basically their offense. He's got
all of it.
He's 1,700 yards passing. He's got 757 yards rushing, 137 carries.
Jeez.
He's totaled completely 20 touchdowns. That's passing and rushing. I mean,
it's just funny. He's got like running back numbers for rushing.
He does. He's their leading rusher.
700 yards.
You're looking on ESPN. And he's leading their receiving yards. No, I'm just kidding there.
He's throwing to himself.
He throws it up. He runs down
O'Hare, pass to O'Hare.
Yeah, that would be.
Did I read that right? He got a cousin?
Yeah. Yeah, down in there. Yeah. Yeah. So
Straight
anyway.
biddies.
Yes, straight. Yep.
Never let that die. Straight biddies.
The back fat of Murfreesboro.
Back fat of Tennessee. I love that so much.
Back fat of Nashville.
Tennessee.
Yes.
Back fat of Nashville. That's so good.
So let's kind of throw the brakes on. I guess since we're on the bye week, we can go to basketball. As much as it pains me, Western beat Austin P. Governors 97-75. Jared, you were there. What did you think, buddy?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, it was impressive, even though it was Austin P. They lost a bunch of good players, but they still have Terry Taylor, good old Bowling Green kid. I think he still got about close to 20 points in that game. But offense was rolling, and the fact that there's different people on this team for Western that can step up and score a bunch of points is great. Like Tavion Hollingsworth, he did a lot better. I think he got close to like 20-something points, like 20 or 21. Cam Justice
got 21.
Yeah, I knew it was about him and Justice both had over 20. Of course, Williams, I think he had like 12. I'm not doing all this from the top of my head, by the way. He had a bunch. Bassie obviously came in with a double-double again. Still really good for him. It's just so many people on this Western team can show up. Like Williams didn't do as good as he did against Tennessee Tech, but Cam Justice went off. Like he shot really well. I think he's like 5 of 7 from downtown. he did a lot of good things. And Jordan Rawls, he's starting to show a lot of promise too. I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of him so far. He got a little extra minutes in this game because it's just kind of good for them to run up the score a little bit and let these younger guys get some more experience, especially before conference play gets here. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Jordan Ross. He had a couple of made three-pointers, which is good for him. But overall, I mean, just almost getting to 100. I wanted them to get 100 so bad, but the fact that they still got 97, they shot 50%, I think. No, it was 50 or 60 from the floor. It was pretty good.
They shot. I think they shot free throws. They were at 89.7%, so almost 93%, or 90% on free throws. They did shoot the 60%, and three-pointers they were shooting 52%, which I'll take that all day.
Yeah, so I mean, just phenomenal shooting all around. I hope they can keep that up and keep that offensive momentum, because if they can do that, they'll blow out just about everybody in our conference, except for maybe a couple of teams, especially UTSA. They will blow them out because they suck this year.
See, here's my hot take on the scoring, though, is that they went off, they made a bunch of threes. That's awesome. This team, again, cannot make the mistake of thinking that's how they win basketball games, by just shooting 50% from three. Because...
Cam Justice is shooting it, though.
Right,
Yeah,
but
Cam Justice is
why, but the reason that, again, he can do that, that's fine. If Tay and Josh and Jordan Rawls and Fricky Bassey start jacking up threes from the outside, then we got some problems. I still want this team to focus on, and they have an answer now with Carson Williams to back up Bassey down low. I still want them to attack the rim. I still want them to create opportunities down low, because that does open up, Cam Justice to just go off from outside. But they got to know their roles, because this team falls in love with the three again, we're going to have some crappy losses. And I'm just freaked. Anytime Western gets hot from three, I freak out, because that's what basketball is like in vogue right now, is everybody shoot the three. It's like, slow your roll. The dudes that can shoot the three need to shoot the three.
In their defense, there was only 17 attempts at the three-pointer. Justice hit...
Right, which is fine, but the game before they went 3 for 20. So to say that we're this three-point shooting team now is a little bit of a, it's a little bit of a red herring. Like, calm down on being
I wouldn't say we're
a Warriors from a couple years ago.
Three-point shooter.
We don't have enough data, Jake, to really decide that yes or no yet anyway.
It's like me saying
I like
the
my
Conference
cake
USA is
gooey,
bad.
Ross.
I do too. That's how I feel about the Conference USA as a whole. Like, prior to yesterday, like with New Mexico State getting beat by UTEP, that's a really impressive win for UTEP.
Yep.
I'm glad to see them kind of bounce back, because they haven't been good in a few years. Usually they've been one of the best teams in the conference, and they haven't really shown anything the past few seasons. But that's
they were
a big
they were definitely digging for that one.
Here's my take on the game.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
okay,
ahead,
Ross, go ahead, buddy.
It was great, and this is what we need to focus on until probably starting next weekend. Blowing out inferior teams. We didn't blow out Tennessee Tech. Let them hang around. They only won by 12. The other, Saturday's game, they were in control the whole way. They were up 20, 24, 25 the whole game. We do that. That's what we did 2 years ago when we were on the precipice of the NCAA tournament. We do that this year. Scoring travels, defense travels. We've got both of those right now. Let's just keep blowing out inferior opponents. We got Eastern. Let's get a 15 to 20 point win on the road on Friday, and then let's take care of business against Campbellsville before we start getting in dogfights next weekend in the Virgin Islands. So,
yeah, my debate, I guess, technically with Jake with the three is this wasn't. I don't know. I can't comment on the Tennessee Tech game because I didn't watch it, but this just looks like Justice and Hollingsworth are the ones throwing them up for the most part.
Yeah, Hollingsworth really struggled against Tennessee Tech, so it's good to see him bounce back and get over 20. I think that's the first time. And going into last season, I can't remember the last 20-point game he had because
it's been a minute since he's took over.
It's been a while.
I'm glad to see him finally get that back, though, because the Tavion Hollingsworth we saw his freshman year was just phenomenal. He had sort of a sophomore slump. I mean, he had to do the same thing last year, having to take over the point a little bit until Monte Bearden was cleared. I mean, of course, we still don't know how long it's going to be to hear anything on Kenny Cooper. So, I mean,
which, by the way, what a joke that we still haven't heard anything about Cooper.
Welcome
Yes.
to the NCAA.
Well, I think it's Lipscomb is partially the reason why. So
I say we go protest. It's in Nashville. It's not too far. Let's go.
yeah. Well,
like
here's
six
the
of
thing.
us
Like
with
you look
signs.
at who are those two guys who transferred out of UK last year? Quade Green and
Yeah.
It was
Jamal
Quade
Baker
Green.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
So UK was like, yeah, go ahead, go, and they put in a good word for them, so they both got declared immediately eligible. Apparently, the story is Lipscomb waited till the last day to turn in the paperwork for Cooper's waiver, so that's why he's probably still towards the back of the line. So I saw that John Rothstein tweeted that Cleveland State got a St. John's transfer declared eligible today, so. I mean, I guess we just got to say any week now until we hear what the deal is. So,
Which that is shady as all get out to do.
Salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just like, I don't care what program you are. I don't care if you're top of the top or literally just at the bottom of the bottom. To actually just wait last minute to do all that just kind of just says something a little bit about how you're handling the process.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all for the student athletes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I can see both. I mean, partially, if Cooper would have just graduated on time too, he wouldn't have had this issue. That's partially the thing too. He took it out of his own hands. So there's two sides of the deal. It's just crappy how it all worked out. So if he knew that his coach probably knew that Belmont being right down the road, their coach might leave. Maybe you prepare for that because you don't want to. Like I said, you don't want to put that out of your own hands, put it in the NCAA's hands. So,
Yeah. My biggest question, just skimming the numbers here as far as playing time, is Bassey only had 28 minutes.
Which is kind of good that he needed that rest.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I guess they're just more worried about his health, and that's fine.
Yeah,
but-
and I'll be honest, like, he's fallen a ton the first 2 games of the season. Like, I know he has great hustle, and he's trying to make these plays, but he is getting absolutely beat up in the paint. Like, just going up for rebounds and just getting tripped up and stuff. There was a moment where I thought he was, like, actually hurt, where he kind of rolled his ankle. I think somebody accidentally stepped on him, and it kind of messed him up. But, I mean, he was down for a couple minutes, and then he got up and walked it off like he always does. I'm just like,
Hey, Jared.
God. Yeah.
did we? So I know obviously Cozart played 8 minutes. Does Stansbury play Williams at the 5 at all, like to give Bassey a blow, or is it mainly just them next to each other?
He actually has a little bit. I mean, I think he went with a really small lineup. I think it was like Jordan Rawls, Hollingsworth, Savage, Justice, and Williams at one point, where he had Williams kind of doing the 5, and he has that as an option. But Matt Horton still hasn't seen the floor at all this year. I still don't know what's up with that. It could be Stansbury being like, "Well, you were going to leave us, and this is kind of what you get."
I think it's something to do with the academics or something. From what I was reading on the message board, they said he was supposed to do something and he didn't, and maybe Stansbury's teaching him a lesson or something.
Yeah.
It
And
could
even
be
if he played, he
yeah.
wouldn't do that much of a difference. I mean, Western was still going to win pretty heavily with or without him, so not too much of a difference.
Yeah, completely agree. So, I don't have a lot of mailbag stuff this week, but what do you all...
Any more mailbag questions from Brett?
yeah, let's see if Brett's got anything. Let's see if I can get him to answer real quick. What's up, Brett? Brett!
Hello.
I know, right? Been hanging around the whole time listening, so I don't know if he's asleep at the keyboard or what.
I don't know.
I mean, if I had
It's
to
all
listen to
good.
me talk, I'd fall asleep.
I would have fell asleep. We're at 53 minutes. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, there we go. He says he's driving home from work. He wants to know if anybody's going to the EKU
Yeah,
game.
Ross is.
I'll be there.
Yes, Ross is going to make
I'll be the red dot in the sea of maroon. 'Cause I'm going
Which,
with
how
the,
far of a drive is it from where at to Richmond, Ross?
from Louisville to Richmond, hour and a half. Not too
Yeah,
not bad.
That's not bad.
Just
That's
you go
like from-
straight through Lexington and you're there. So that's why
Lexington and Louisville's
that's
not even that far from each other, right?
Lexington
Nah,
and
they're not
Louisville.
that
No,
far.
it's an hour. Yeah.
I've never
yeah, that's-
driven
here's
that
the-
stretch before. It's kind of weird.
Well, you're from far western Kentucky, so it's why would you?
I mean, exactly. So it's like I started traveling like to the different parts of Kentucky for some strange reason now that I live here in Bowling Green. And it's just like, I mean, I was taken aback of just like how centered Bowling Green is compared to the rest of the state. Like, obviously you're out from Nashville, but you're like 2 hours depending on where you go to Louisville, Lexington like 2.5, and then pretty much the rest of the state is just like all jumbled together. So it would be pretty cool for me to drive that stretch from Louisville to Lexington at least one time in my life.
I was gonna say Louisville Lexington's not too bad. If we go to a bowl game, is anybody gonna go to the bowl game?
Ooh, me and
I
Matt can
might.
drive to Miami again.
I
This
seriously
time you
would
have
love
to take a
go.
voice
I'll
recorder
tag
and like
along.
record that whole thing.
Okay,
I can
hold on.
do a quick update of bowl projections or whatever.
Yeah.
Too.
Yes.
So
Go ahead, Ross. Do your thing, bud.
So yeah, I do the roundup every week. This win probably, I would say, 75% clinched a spot for us. So we're eligible. So that's good. That was number one. We need one more to clinch it for sure because Conference USA just doesn't have. They have 5 bowl tie-ins with like 3 secondary. I don't think there's going to be enough Power 5 schools to fill them this year, but you don't want to get in a attendance battle and we had to end up in the Cure Bowl at the last second. Let's take care of business and beat middle at least, and then you don't have nobody can leapfrog you. But it looks like
Coach. Go ahead.
it looks like we could be shipped off to New Mexico, to the Bahamas, which I don't think any fans would go to either of those 2 games. The 2 or 3 I really would hope for. We could go to the Boca Raton Bowl again, which is always fine. Cheap Allegiant flights down there. The Gasparilla Bowl in Tampa at the Buccaneers Stadium, which would be fun. Another easy trip with cheap Allegiant flights. And then the one I'm secretly hoping for that's not going to happen would probably be the New Orleans Bowl. So that would be
Get some
great.
gumbo.
Yeah, that gumbo definitely.
I think Southern Miss just being like a couple hours up the road is probably going to stop us from going there. So.
Looks like Brett's hoping for the Bahamas, which I don't blame you, buddy. And
I
definitely.
hope he has some money to afford that.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Hilltopper's got those Hilltop dollars, as far as I'm concerned. But hey, if you can go, buddy, more power to you. I probably won't be going.
Bring us back a T-shirt.
Yes, likelihood of you all going to South Florida Bowl. Yeah, only if Southwest goes there. Jake, what likelihood, bud? Probably not.
Of me going to a bowl game?
Yeah, in Florida. We'll say Florida.
I mean, unless it was like Nashville, man. I ain't dragging. I mean, maybe
If it's in
I could
Louisville.
if it's in Louisville, yeah, maybe. But like, I gotta drag a
Indianapolis.
Nah, dog. Yeah,
Ooh,
no,
Indy would be nice. I would love
No.
Indy, but Indy in the
Till-
wintertime is very sketch.
I'm just here to say,
Very,
like,
very sketchy.
until the Munchkin can ride for multiple hours without screaming her head off, which is not a thing yet. Like
Called Benadryl.
she gets pissy. Yeah, right. She gets pissy around Cave City. Like every time we go to Bowling Green, like she falls asleep, and then like Cave City, she's like, I smell Mammoth Cave. I must be angry. I don't know why, but she wakes up and gets fussy the rest of the way to Bowling Green.
It's probably because of Guntown Mountain. She smells.
That's exactly what it is.
There is what it is.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, I think somebody's bought that, haven't they? Isn't it Funtown Mountain?
So somebody bought it and they were trying to like redo it. I was following this whole thing on Twitter because they had they were really trying to redo it. And you're right, it's supposed to be called Funtown Mountain, but it's been all quiet on the Western Front for like 3 years. I'm pretty sure they lost their button window.
No, I know the whole story.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, let's go.
So there was a story. There was a store in Louisville, like the guy who did like the Big Lebowski Fest and all this stuff. It was called Why Louisville. So they sold T-shirts and a bunch of other weird stuff. So this guy, he's kind of an eccentric dude. He goes down there and this was like 3 years ago. He reopens it up for like a couple months and then has a nervous breakdown because I think he had mental health issues. It closed, but a new company like Froggets or something. Some local people in Cave City reopened, and it's been reopened under them for 2 years now. Because I always drive through Cave City to go through the lake, and so yeah, I'm not sure if they ever got. I think they got the chairlift even going again. So
Wow.
I was about to say, have they got the death trap of a chairlift going? That's the only question we need to
I
answer.
felt so sketch going up that thing when I was a kid. Good grief.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna say, Jake. Well, my mother took Jake, myself, and my little brother when we were younger. And
Yeah, dude, I think it's the only time I've ever been was with y'all.
yes, and it was sketches all get out. I mean, it was
Freaking me out, man.
it was like all the rides are like those carnival rides they put up overnight. So I'm sure at the end of the
Except they
day,
just leave them standing.
yes. Jared, I'll ask you real quick since I know you got to go here in just a second.
Yep.
Which bowl game would you hope for, buddy?
Honestly, after driving to Miami for 18 hours with Matt, I would never in my life do that again. Nothing against him at all. It was just miserable, absolutely miserable. I never thought we were going to get there. We checked into the hotel room at like 1:30 in the morning after leaving at like 8 o'clock the morning before that. It was so long of a trip. But, I mean, usually Florida, I mean, we have good recruiting ties down there anyways. That's definitely a realistic option. But, I mean, like you, Alex, like what you said, I mean, Indy. I would love a game in Lucas
There's
Oil
no bowl
Stadium.
games in Indy, so
I know that.
There
but
should
I'm
be,
just
though.
saying. I feel like that would have some traction. It's just the fact that whenever you go into Indiana in wintertime, there's a very good chance that it's going to be completely frozen over. Like, I made that mistake of going to see the Pacers play the Cavs when LeBron was there a couple of years ago in January, and yeah, I think that was the biggest snow that Franklin had for the winter, but it was even worse up in Indianapolis, so I had to go up the night before I was supposed to leave anyways, and I had to stay with family just to make sure that I got up there, and then that's when all the snow hit, was the day of the ball games. So I mean, whenever you go north for bowl games, I mean, it's just a travel nightmare if you're trying to drive somewhere. But
I went to
think
Detroit.
Florida-
That was fun.
Oh, the Little Caesars
Oh,
pizza.
God.
Never forget. Never forget. Yeah, I heard a bunch of fun stories from the marching band that went to that, because that was when I was a freshman at Western, and I started to know all the music people. Good times.
That's funny. Well, hey, we'll check you later, buddy. You take care, and
Yeah.
we'll talk to you next week. Okay?
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
See you, man.
Hey, Alex, what do you?
Yes.
What's your bowl game? Which one you wanted to go to, buddy?
Man, I would actually like the bowl game to be in Shreveport for some strange reason. We actually do have a tie-in with the Independence Bowl, but I feel like somehow, some way, we're going to end up in the New Mexico Bowl. I just have that gut feeling.
You're
Like-
probably right there.
Shreveport would be cool because we would probably get to play like a 7-5, 6-6 Power 5 team. So if you're hoping for the best matchup, I would say Independence is what you want because you'd probably get to play like a 6-6 like UK level type bowl team. So that might be something to keep an eye on. Maybe like a trying to think like an NC State or a Florida State or something like that. That's kind of sneaking in the ACC.
Which I don't see how Florida State, with the season they're having, actually is somewhat still bowl eligible, according to the Saturday Blitz. But I feel like if we're going to play an ACC team, I'd rather it would be probably like North Carolina State or something like that. I mean, worst case scenario, Virginia, maybe.
It's possible, I think.
It's just a win. A win's all you want in that situation. It's a statement.
Yep,
You can
absolutely.
say, you can sell like we did, like they're selling right now. You beat Arkansas on the recruiting trail. Every Power 5 win's huge. So
Or look at it like this. What if we end up playing Louisville again in a bowl game?
That would be nice. Florida State, currently their next game, which is on the 16th, they're going to play Alabama State, and this is the highest FPI index I have ever seen. They're at a 99.6% that they're going to win.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, so they're definitely going to go bowl eligible this Saturday, I would assume. If not, that's going to be one of the biggest upsets since last night.
Yeah.
So I would be fun if Western played FSU. What would make it better is if Taggart was still there, but it's whatever.
Yeah, that would have been a good storyline.
So Ross, what's your prediction thus far on bowl games? As far as which one would you like to go to?
Well, I'd already said New Orleans for sure. I think that'd be easy to get to, and it'd be fun partying, and you probably get to play App State. I think probably realistically it'll be either Boca, New Mexico, or Shreveport would be the three. So hopefully it's just somewhere you can go. The Bahamas would be great, but you literally book a last minute flight down to the Bahamas. It would cost you like $1,500. I don't think we'd have any fans there like we did 5 years ago. So
Maybe like 2 at the most that would actually travel to the Bahamas.
yeah,
Just a handful.
I was gonna say you'd have your big boosters that would make the trip, and then people that the coaches take with them, et cetera, et cetera.
And then somehow the parents of the Florida players.
Yes, they're going to take their speedboats across to the Bahamas. But anyway, I agree that the Bahamas would be an awesome bowl for the guys to go to, but it's not feasible for fans to travel there. It would be really nice if Western could offer some kind of package where they could, for $1,000 you fly down there and you get a hotel, for the couple nights and then you're back, whatever. That would be awesome if they could do that. We'll have to talk to Todd and see if we can get that going. So for the final quick segment here, right before we get cut off, just kind of a what are we doing in the bye week? For me, and somebody who's riding a motorcycle, I'm watching Disney Plus, and I am not ashamed to admit that. Because like the rest of the country, Disney has the power to make it snow. And so they made it snow yesterday, and everybody got to sit at home and watch Disney Plus except for me.
How is it?
It's pretty nice. It's really nice. I'm a Star Wars fan, and the new Mandalorian is on there, and it's freaking awesome. I watched it twice today. Because they've only got one episode up so far, and so I just sat and watched it again. It was great. I loved it.
Quick question: Did you do the bundle with that ESPN Plus and Hulu, or just Disney Plus?
We've just done the Disney Plus thus far, but I'm going to try and see if we can get into the bundle because that seems a lot cheaper and a lot more cost-effective.
I mean, you're already probably paying for ESPN Plus, right? So
yeah, that's my thing. Is I've already got ESPN Plus, so I'm probably just going to add it in.
Yes, because I mean,
something.
And if you got Hulu, it's even better. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's something I'm going to do too because literally I already pay Hulu and ESPN Plus separately. So it's a nice deal either way.
Yeah, and Jake, when your little girl gets a little bit older, it's gonna pay in spades. Mine just finally is getting old enough where we let her watch TV all the time. My 2 plus, and it's a great little distraction thing when you're like, okay, I've worked my butt off all day. Let's just chill and watch Robin Hood or something.
No joke though, as far as Disney Plus goes, I mean they've got a lot of movies that they've pulled from their vault. So all the movies from our childhood and before. They've got Darkwing Duck, which my wife and I sat and watched yesterday. They've got DuckTales. They've got X-Men, the old X-Men cartoon. They've got one of the Spider-Man Unlimited, excuse me. They don't have the original that we watched when we were kids, which is kind of
that's a Fox property.
Well, see, they bought Fox, so they have
all of Fox.
Yes, so they've got all the Simpsons. I sat and watched.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yes, I forgot about that. I sat and
watched season 1, episode 1 of The Simpsons yesterday, which was great. Oh my god, it was so awful, but it was hilarious.
I was gonna say that was so cringeworthy.
Yes.
Yeah, no, my munchkin is not quite old enough to have the attention span to care about TV too much.
Yeah, enjoy that while you can.
We watched about 15 minutes of Winnie the Pooh the other day, which, by the way, I just have to say, Winnie the Pooh, I think maybe one of the most underrated Disney characters. Like today, the original Winnie the Pooh stuff from the 60s had so many dad jokes and puns that little kids don't get, but that parents do. I was just sitting there cracking up, I forgot how good this was. Holy crap.
Well, first off, Winnie the Pooh is actually outlawed in China, just so you all know. Yeah, it's really hilarious.
Don't trust China.
Yeah. And just so you know, I'm a huge South Park fan. A lot of you listeners know that already. But South Park touched on that in their latest season, and it icks me up every time watching that. So yeah, Disney Plus is awesome. I've only got about a minute and a half here before we're going to be cut off. So real quick, Alex, what do you got as far as what you're doing this week, waiting for the bye week to end?
Sadly, it falls on the same week as the Titans on their bye week. So pretty much I'm just going to kick back, watch a lot of our teams, do some scouting a little bit, but also go to Fort Campbell. Like me and my parents, we go to Fort Campbell a lot. So Saturday we're just going to chill, kick back, get some groceries from the commissary, and just make a complete day of it.
Sounds good. Jake, real quick, what you got?
Nothing, man. Like I'm probably going to Bowling Green and your freaking baby shower.
Yep. That's my baby shower's this weekend.
That's
Ross,
what I'm doing. That's my weekend.
Congrats.
Ross, what's up?
Congrats.
What you got?
I'll go to EKU game on Friday with a coworker who played there in the 70s, and then Saturday or Sunday, I think we'll go to the aquarium up in Cincinnati. So should be fun.
Nice. Newport.
Nice.
That's nice. That was my first Five Guy Burger was up there, which by
Nice.
God, my wife and I, we paid $30 for that. So before I get cut off, because we're set at an hour 10, just remember, guys, the men's basketball plays sometime.
Friday.
Women's plays, yeah,
Friday
they got
night.
Friday against Eastern. Football's on a bye week. And as always, guys, go Tops.
Go Tops.
Go Tops.
Go Tops.